Hello and welcome to a digital marketing live stream hosted by Exposure Ninja, hosted by myself, Dale Davies, alongside Jess Percival. Hello, Jess.
You have me muted. You
I
sneaky
have
muted me,
you
Dale.
because I can't trust you. I can't trust you not to make a mistake.
That's
I'm
true.
muting someone else. How embarrassing, how embarrassing. How you doing?
It's fine, it's fine. I'm good, thank you. I'm having a very rainy day today, but it's quite nice actually. It was so warm over the past couple of days. It's been quite nice to have a rainy little day. So.
I'm loving the heat, I have to say.
Oh, are you? Good.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello to everyone who's watching so far. It'd be great to know where you're watching us from. Do tell us in the chat if you're watching us from the UK, from the United States, from Australia. We have all sorts of countries joining us. We're also going to be joined today by some of the people submitting their websites for today's stream. So today is the live website review. If you'd like your website reviewed, all you have to do is use the form in the description down below, whether you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, whatever. That link should be there, and you'll be able to submit your site and we will pick it up. But from today onwards, our Wednesday streams are going to be 90 minutes long. So you've got an hour and a half to send us your website and we'll review them. But for our live website reviews, which are every other Wednesday, we're going to start to bring you on to the stream. So we're going to put that email out there and let you know the streams are coming up, that you submit your website, and we'll let you know if you'd like you to come on. Then for the first hour, we'll do it with guests. And then for the last 30 minutes from, say, 2 to 2:30, we will just go through as many websites as we can that are submitted by the chat or via the form and what have you. So I'm absolutely delighted to introduce our very first guest for this new format, Matthew. Hello, Matthew.
Good afternoon, guys. Thank you very much for having me on.
Oh, absolutely delighted. Thank you very much for being our first guest as well. We're super excited about this. So perhaps you'd like to tell us a little bit about the website you'd like us to review in the business as well.
So the website is mountevo.co.uk. So we specialise in vacuum-mounted vehicle racks and accessories. So our USP is that they're modular across the board. So if you do one sport, you can then transfer the vacuum cups across another sport that you might intend to do. So we're a relatively new company. We've only been operating for the last couple of months. So this is kind of our first edition of the website, and we're looking at making revisions. So our product page, Solo, this is the one that we're really focusing on because we're not converting at the rate at which we would like to.
Right. So product page Solo. So does that come within? So Jess, you're going to go through it. You found it already. Fantastic. So the Solo bike rack, magic. That car looks superb. Is that your car, Matthew?
It is not, I'm afraid. I wish it was.
Super. Okay. So it's the conversion rate of this page in particular that's just not there for you. Can I ask how you're bringing traffic to the page at the moment?
So we're bringing traffic in through Instagram, Google Shopping ads, Google search ads, and that's about it for the minute. The Instagram ads and traffic are actually converting relatively well. We think that's because of kind of trust, and they've built trust through looking through our Instagram as a whole. Whereas the Google ads, we're kind of targeting vehicle roof racks and those sorts of keywords, and they don't seem to be converting for us at all.
Okay, the majority of the traffic that's coming through at the moment, is that mostly desktop or is it coming from mobile?
Mobile.
Okay, so just perhaps you can pop it into a mobile view, because at the moment what I'm seeing is a lot of text.
Yes.
And I expect that might be harming the performance slightly if there's a lot of scrolls to get through some of that information. So Jess, can you tell us how many scrolls it takes more or less to get to the bottom?
Yeah.
Count.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
okay.
10, 11,
yeah,
12.
Yeah,
okay. It's quite a lot.
I'll do. Okay, so Matthew, are you using a conversion rate, a conversion software on the website at the moment?
No.
Conversion tracking, like Hotjar or anything like that?
We're using Analytics, Google Analytics.
Analytics, okay. One thing I would definitely suggest is installing a tool like Hotjar. which can
Okay.
do visitor tracking, because then you can start to see stuff like how much of a web page somebody is seeing. So, for example, if you have the majority of your traffic is from mobile and they're not even getting down a third of the page to see all of that great content yourself, you may have written yourself or somebody at the company has written. Yeah, that opportunity to convert them on that sales copy is just not going to be there because they'll have checked out already. Perhaps.
I see. So our main issue with this is obviously you don't have much to display on a mobile phone, do you, in terms of kind of how much you can see above the fold. We're a standard Shopify or kind of above the fold that you can see it right at the top. Whereas below, it's kind of getting in those key points so that we don't get a bounce. Because obviously it's a vacuum mounted rack. It's not something that people have generally seen before. So there's a trust issue there. And we're trying to overcome that. So the top that you're seeing now is kind of something that we've revised recently to try and bring in more relevant traffic as opposed to just trying to compete with other vacuum cup brands. So I don't know what advice you have for me there in terms of kind of...
So I'm just thinking like how much information you can bring above that first scroll. So you've got the title, you've got the price, get it by tomorrow. That's like all super. I wonder if there are any kind of any blockers that people are coming across as they scroll through the page, or maybe they're considering yours over another company that you might be able to handle before they even scroll down. So a couple of bullet points saying, pointing out some of your USPs again, what makes it better than the alternatives out there, the fact that it's modular. Like it's not immediately obvious to me that it is modular on that first load.
So we initially, on our first kind of website revision, we had the modular as the focus. Whereas we kind of quite quickly realized that because our traffic coming in, we're looking for bike racks, they're expecting roof-mounted bike racks that go on roof bars. So we thought we'd have to kind of convince the user on the site that that's a way forward before saying about how we're modular, so that if they did compare us against our competitors, we'd still come out on top.
Interesting. Okay. I would definitely still be trying to see how you can get the modular element highlighted higher. Like, even if you keep retain that title, for example, when you so if I always do like a 5-second test on this, and you can do that using like 5secondtest.com and a few other tools like that. If you ask them, what makes this item special in comparison to the other ones they're looking at, they might not see the differences and what makes yours a far superior product in just that visual first initial loading time. Jess, I don't know how you're feeling about that above the fold area.
Yeah, I like what you said about potentially having some bullet points up here. And I suppose we've got this single bike vacuum mount. We were talking about the modular thing. It could be, you could potentially slip that in there. I know it starts being quite a few words, but it is a way to get that modular element in if you want to introduce that idea earlier on without it being like the main focus that you're kind of worrying about a little bit in terms of the modular stuff. And what I was thinking is there's some really nice stuff here about like, no more fitting kits for each car, no more wasting fuel, which I remember back when my mum was looking at bike racks, that was a huge one, was the wasting fuel. And that kind of thing could be bullet pointed. Maybe Dale might disagree with me. I'm a baby marketer, so apologies if I say something and then Dale comes in and corrects me. But the get it by tomorrow is great, but I think that could potentially be a little bit further down, and it could be, you could have bullet points and then follow it up with get it by tomorrow, because I suppose if the person hasn't decided yet whether the key features are for them, they're not really going to be fussed about whether they can get it by tomorrow, but they'll probably scroll down a little bit more and then see, cool, we've got the get it by tomorrow. I might as well order it now. So I think if, like you said, it's a Shopify template, so I'm not sure if you can include some little bullet points, if you can see where I'm like poking this little thing here in there. I think that would be really, really great, because as much as a picture tells 1,000 words, I can imagine some people are like, well, I might as well just get a bike rack because I know that. Whereas those bullet points really sell the exact reasons why you should buy it over a bike rack. Like, I think this is really appealing for somebody who has a small car. I think this is fab. So it's like all those little elements. I'd just like to know a few more reasons why this is the product for me, I think.
Okay,
Yeah, so
really good.
I've got two thoughts. So the first thought is that initial product photo is great because the car looks fantastic. However, when I first loaded your website, the image that really struck me as, wow, that looks really cool, was the real close up of the actual attachment itself. So the way it was connected. So I think there was, I'm not sure if it was that photo or another one where it was a little bit closer.
Yeah, there's this one.
Yeah, that one was cool. It wasn't that one. Is there another one?
It must have been this one, but I can see why you would. This one's a little bit better than the one on the drive because it tells a bit more of a story. And I know we talk about that a lot, but like, you're seeing the car out and about, like it puts you in that position where you're going to be taking your bike. I mean, it might not be the car that you have, but it just sort of, I don't know, makes you feel an emotion more than it does seeing the car on the driveway, I think. But yeah, and I think this picture as well, you have the actual attachment, your product is right at the front. Whereas on the product page, because it's the back view of the car, even though it's a good shot, it doesn't show the product in the same way. It might show a little bit of the back, but this really shows like it's right here. This is what you're buying. So I think that's probably why it felt like it was closer up to you, Dale, than the one on the product page.
So my thought here is that we're always talking about you should be selling the benefits of having something, not the feature. And this is very much like a feature thing. Like it does this and other options don't. I probably A/B test this product page immediately and just have a close up of the attachment, or a lot closer than this, or the other angle versus what you have currently. Right. But going back to that point about bullet points beneath the title of Solo Bike Rack, I think about like storytelling courses, and they say when you're telling a story, it shouldn't be and this happened and this happened. I think you could do something similar. You should. They recommend you go. This happened, therefore this happened. So with this, I would have bullet points that go from Solo Bike Rack that has this fitting, therefore it's more modular, therefore it covers all of your sporting what's the word, whatever you do at the weekend. So I might do it in that. How can you summarize all of that product page within like 4 or 5 bullet points and get that as high as possible, and then you can develop each of those bullet points further in the content beneath.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll have a look at that. So with the get it by part, where would you recommend that be? Do you recommend that still to be above the add to cart and the buy it now buttons, or?
Personally, yes. I would still have that up there, just because that's a really convincing factor for people who are shopping around, like how quick people can get stuff. Like a lot of the time people always think like, okay, I could have got it from this website, but I'll go get it with Prime instead because it'll be quicker. So yeah, I would definitely have that above the add to cart and buy it now.
Yeah, completely agree. I think it is very appealing, and it's just one of those things that like it makes a sense of urgency. Like when you see a timer counting down, you automatically want to react. So it's almost like a little psychological thing there as well. I guess one thing I want to ask about is we were talking about the modular package, but currently this only has one button. Is it because you're not currently offering that package yet, or is it just as is that just the standard is the modular? I'm just a bit curious about how that works.
So we will offer it in both modular, so it would just be the base without the cups, and with the cups. However, we've had to remove it because our Google ads keep unpublishing, because for some reason the current where the price is, one's going to be 162 and one's 245. It thinks that the price is wrong on the shopping page, so it keeps unpublishing them. So for now, we've had to just remove it because we're not quite at the stage where people will be using the modular aspect either, because we haven't launched any other products.
Got you. Okay. So there is definitely a discussion there about whether you need the modular element on there right now. I mean, Dale will probably have an opinion on this, because I suppose it's setting up customers who are going to maybe repeat purchase, who might want to get modular elements for different kind of sporting activities, or if they have kids and they want to put the kids' bikes on the roofs, or all of these types of things. So Dale, if you could just pick that one up for me.
So I'll pick that train of thought up. So yeah, I'm looking back to when like GoPro launched. It was okay, this item launched, so we have all this stuff in the pipeline. This is what you're going to be able to do for it. Sign up for updates and we'll keep you notified about stuff like that. That's a fantastic way of starting to nurture your marketer and nurture your customer for the long term. So they might not necessarily pick up the item straight away. I mean, obviously we want them to, but if not, getting them into the mailing list to be able to kind of nurture them along, remarket to them as well. Are you doing any form of remarketing at the moment?
We've got display remarketing through Google.
Okay, you doing any contact gathering, like lead generation, anything like that?
We have a lead generation form at the bottom of the page, of most of our pages, I think. And we do pick up a fair amount of subscribers through that.
Okay. Jess, could you do me a favor, go back to that page and then let's have a look to see if there's any exit intent pop-ups or anything like that. Because I'm thinking like, okay, because I'm thinking, as you've pointed out, your customer is very likely going to be shopping around a bit. They might come through to your website because of a product ad. Hopefully one day, I don't know where your rankings are, but hopefully through just organic search as well. If they're anything like me, they'll have like 5 or 6 different tabs open, so they'll be going to those other tabs to do comparisons. So there's 2 things you can do here. One, use an exit intent pop-up in which you can say, here there are so many different things you could do, but you could offer some form of discount if you do discounts in any way, or you can do some kind of cold offer like the mailing list sign up. I know ebooks are popular, but perhaps there's something a bit more glamorous that you can do. But you can also point out, okay, here are the reasons we're better than the other options out there. So you can say, before you go looking at other stuff, here's our comparison guide against the top 3 or top 5 pieces. So you could have like a blog post or a page on your website which compares yours against the others, which has like a classic side-by-side table of ticks and crosses that points out why your product is better, and link people to that who are still, they're kind of sure, but they're not sure that they want to go with Mount Evo versus one of these other competitors. So I'm always thinking like pain points, what's stopping people from making that converting immediately. So how can you keep them on board for longer, keep them in your ecosystem, but also stop them going shopping around on other sites?
I really like that. That sounds like a really good idea. That's something we can definitely implement.
Awesome. How many big competitors are you going against at the moment?
2. So did you want to look them up or?
Yeah, we absolutely can. Jess, would you mind?
Yeah. Let me just take this off the screen for now.
Super.
Yeah, if you want to let me know who they are.
So our biggest competitor is Seasucker, seasucker.com.
So whilst Jess is doing that, hammering away at the keyboard, just a reminder
to
everyone, if you would like your website review today and be on screen as well, all you have to do is just submit your website via the form in the description and we'll bring people on. We have somebody coming up in just a few minutes time, and we still have a gap for the end, so there's still time to submit your website, and then we'll do those regular reviews for the last half hour from 2 o'clock to 2:30. Jess, how you getting on over there? I can't unmute you. I muted you and I can't unmute you. That's annoying. Sorry. Still muted.
There we go. Hang on, let me take that off. How do you spell that competitor again? Sorry.
It's Seasucker, as in CSEA and then sucker.com.
Perfect. I did see like the letter C. That's why. And then was trying to ask you, but was in fact muted. So great stuff. Okay, so instantly, I'm far more impressed with your website. Dale might disagree, but I much prefer the product. It's a lot more that one's so in your face. Like, I don't know, it almost feels like it has more wobble ability. But anyway, also very
What ability? Sorry.
ability, like your bike's going to be unstable is what I was trying to express. One thing I did notice is obviously Dale was talking about having an exit pop-up. They've decided that the exit pop-up should appear as soon as you arrive on the website. But some of the stuff that they do have in here is actually really good in terms of like, I mean, it is a bit random. $20 international shipping voucher is very, very specific, but it could be that they've just found loads of people aren't converting because of the international shipping fee. So obviously they found a pattern that they've likely, you know, decided to make a pop-up for. I'm just a bit confused as to why they had it come up on the screen.
It's quite possible that you moved out of the viewport. There's something called a viewport.
There's two. Okay, well, there we go.
Well, they really want you to come back. So
yeah.
Exit intent pop-ups are superb, especially if it gives you an opportunity to address those the undecisiveness, those problem points that the sales team would typically experience. You can address those on the website itself. This website is not winning any awards from me. This is definitely better looking, but I wonder if there are some other elements when it comes to conversion rate optimization that you could do, because I noticed that the website's quite minimal. Your website's quite minimal, which I'm always a fan of. But I wonder if you've got your USP bar above the menu, whether it might be more in line with iSight further down, whether you can add more USPs. And I noticed it was like a timed pop-up, timed USP bar as well. Whether you could make it like come in a bit earlier or just immediately there. That might be a restriction within the theme that you're using. I kind of liking some of the shots are pretty cool.
Yeah.
The video being linked without having to scroll to it is obviously good.
Yeah, I was going to say about that. Something else that they have as well, and obviously it depends if you would want to implement something like this, but having like a pay monthly option as well with somebody like Klarna. Like, I don't know if that's something you've looked into, but I know that, like, you know, a lot of people do prefer to pay via Klarna. Like all my little sisters pay for pretty much everything via Klarna. Like, they, you know, just because it's there. So it's definitely something that you could consider as well. It's just like a little bonus thing. Yeah.
Although I do wonder, I mean, what does your target audience look like?
Also true.
They might already have like freely available cash, so this isn't really much of something they need to spread out the cost of.
Yeah, they are between 35 and 60. And they usually are well into their mountain biking or road biking, and they'll have spent thousands on a bike. So the £245 for ours isn't a huge, amount for them to pay to transport their bike. With regard to the pay monthly, we have PayPal Pay in 3 available through our site.
Cool.
We need to get a banner to put that on there. Is there another one that you'd recommend? So we can't use Klarna because our business account is with Revolut and they're not compatible. But who else would you recommend?
I mean, for me, PayPal Pay in 3 definitely, I feel like fits your business better than like Klarna. Klarna was just the first one that I thought of.
Right.
But yeah, that PayPal one sounds like it fits your business perfectly. And I definitely think for anybody watching, that's definitely something to think about, is like, is your target audience the kind of person that when confronted with a pink Klarna button is likely to act on that? Or are they going to think that this isn't a product for them? So I do definitely think that having something like PayPal is ideal. So yeah, that's a really good move. Obviously, just get that banner on there as soon as you can. But yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that point about demographics definitely come into it when looking at those payment platforms, like 100%. Cool. Right, so we are due to have somebody else on right now. So Katie is supposed to be joining us, but they're not quite here yet. So whilst I'm waiting for them to join, is there another question you'd like to ask us about your website or the way you earn traffic, anything like that at all, Matthew?
So we're looking at doing more informational pages off the actual product page itself to kind of kind of get a bit more, trust and whatnot with the customer. So the vacuum cups are key to our business. Every single mount will have a vacuum cup on it. So we're looking at making an informational page to show how the vacuum cup kind of works, which might help build trust, because people think that the vacuum cup is something that you stick on the wall, like in a bathroom, and then they just fall off. Whereas these pump down to have 100 kilos of force each. So there's plenty of vacuum there for your bike. But what would you recommend putting on an informational page for the specific vacuum cups?
Okay. Sorry, my computer's going so slowly because I'm trying to run something at the same time. So I've got two thoughts. I would have like a dedicated page about it and just say there's something you can link to. I mean, you can address it and have like bullet points and a small paragraph about why it can be trusted. I'm going to come on to something a little bit better than that in a moment. But you could definitely have a page which does a comparison between this is how much ours can hold versus your competitors, for example. Or you can have diagrams and videos and images that show that this is how much it can hold, and you can do like a visualization of like here it is picking up something massive. And that's what brings me to my main thought, which was anybody who's read Ogilvy on advertising will be familiar with an advert where from like the 1960s and 70s where they stuck some glue on somebody's shoes and they stuck him to the ceiling to show how strong the glue is. Now, I'm not saying you have to go out there and stick somebody to the ceiling, but you could probably do something within a singular image as effective as that. Like show how strong your suction cups are in comparison by picking up something heavy. Like here it is holding something. I'm thinking like American infomercials, just how like here's this really extreme example of how strong our X is. So you could do something like that in a singular image. So if you know how much it can hold, think of an item that's that big and then replicate that. And a singular image could tell such a big story, and you could have that like right at the top of the page somewhere. Then you get to the point like, what do I put first? Which is where a tool like Hotjar is great for. Where even Google Optimize, where you can do A/B tests, can be great for testing out different formats as well. But something like that, which is probably one of the main concerns that you said, like, is it going to slip off? Is it going to fall off? I spent $2,000 on a mountain bike. I don't want it to come off. If you can just kill dead that concern that early with just an image, could be huge for your conversion rate. Oh,
fantastic. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. I'd just love to add something to that. And there's been a few like conversations in the chat about it, such as like, can the roof of my car take the force? As well as Daniel Croft saying like, there's potentially the opportunity for a bit of like viral stuff as well. And it would be great to see if obviously you have the budget to see a video of a car being a bit off-road with a bike on top, like a fairly like big sized bike, the biggest that can go on it, and just showing, how it acts when it's being bashed about on off-road, because most people really will probably be driving on the road, not off-road. So if you're showing an extreme experience, that would be perfect. And then show that the roof has no damage afterwards, after it's been battered, because I think that would just build that extra bit of trust for people who are nearly ready to convert. But let's say you have that video, but a competitor doesn't, because if you're all selling suction cup bike mounts, then people are all going to have that same concern no matter the brand or the website, right? So if you were the people that had that proof that the bike didn't fall off, even if you're off-road, or somebody even said like on top of a rally car, just some of these random things that are coming up in the chat, but being able to see like the during and the after would be a huge thing to me, because I know in the past, whenever I've had a bike rack on the car, the constant thing is like, you're always looking at it. You're always worried that it's gonna fall off. So I think having that extra bit of peace of mind and being like, look, no tricks. This is exactly how well it worked. Yeah, Daniel Croft said, I think something like, will it blend viral marketing by hanging things off the ground would make like cool TikToks, or obviously cool videos for wherever your target audience is spending their time. But I really think like that could work really, really well. You don't necessarily have to be showing the bikes, but you can show other stuff, because people know it's for a bike rack if you start the video saying this is for a bike rack, but it can do this. Like, people know that blenders aren't normally used to blend iPads, but Will It Blend sold their blenders based on that. So yeah, that's that's just another idea as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
just
great.
pinged you a
Yes.
video in the private chat, which
Yeah.
is basically a replication of this advert from like the 50s and 60s, where they stuck the glue on the person's shoes and then stuck them to the ceiling, and that was just like a really good way of showing how effective that is. So if you can, I'm sure that probably cost a pretty penny, but if you could do like a budgeted down version of that, this is just some discussion at the beginning of the video.
Oh, okay.
Like 25 seconds in. So yeah, you can see them just like putting the glue on the shoes, and it's really effective communicator of how strong that is. So if you can find something similar, like you holding something really precious, like holding a kid over a cliff or something like that.
Not that one, but
just but something really, really strong and effective. Like this is how much trust we have in it. Even actually something like that. Do you have like any kind of guarantee that you offer?
We don't have a guarantee. We have an estimated vacuum hold of 100 kilos per cup, but we can't guarantee the 100 kilos. We know it's around that figure, so give or take 10%, which either way is absolutely plenty to hold a sub 25 kilo bike, especially when you've got 4 of them. But we can't put a guarantee in place that it will hold exactly 100 kilos.
Gotcha. Okay. No, not a problem. Super. I'm just double checking. Okay, not a problem. Fantastic. Right. In that case, Matthew, unless you have any other questions, we're going to move on to reviewing a couple of other websites.
No, that's perfect. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure, and I hope to see you again soon.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Cheers,
Bye.
Matthew. Bye.
Super. So, Jess, we're going to move on to a couple of websites. Unfortunately, the person who was lined up can't make it now. So, I'm going to pick a couple of websites. I don't know if you've seen from the list or any that you would like us to do.
Have indeed.
Oh, wow.
We've had some really, really great submissions this week, and it always makes me so excited because I'm like, yes, we really, really want to like share them. So, yeah. Shall we start off with Peak Chocolate, since I know this caught both of our attention previously?
So I was unsure about this. I really want to review them, but I also really want to ask the person who submitted it more about it.
Okay, that makes sense. So did we want to hold it, give it a rain check for another time?
We can rain check it, but what's your initial impression?
I mean, so I feel like we're a little tiny bit biased because we've already looked at this website and sort of expressed the things that we like about it. But my main things are that I don't think it feels like it sells chocolate as much as it could. That would be my number one thing, just as a very quick fix or rebuild style. I don't think it sells chocolate as much as it could be. And so I would be interested, like you said, potentially whether we could have a discussion with the owners and bring them on and kind of chat about their design choices, because I know that this isn't their first design. This is the rebrand, because I've seen on their Instagram, because I wanted to order some, but they're in Australia. So I was a bit like, oh no. But I saw that they've just had a rebrand. So it would be really, really interesting to definitely talk to them and find out a bit more about this, because it feels a little bit like, I can't even describe it. It just doesn't feel like a chocolate website. It feels like more of a supplement website. And I know that it is a different type of chocolate because it has like these different elements that do give it a supplement aspect to it. But I don't know. Do you understand where I'm coming from? It's just something not quite hitting it.
Yeah, absolutely. The branding really speaks to me. I'm really a big person on branding.
Yes.
Love branding. So if I saw this on the supermarket shelf, I'd be like, wow, that looks really cool.
Yeah,
and it would get my interest. But you can't just go on brand alone, like how striking the color is.
Oh, sorry, another bar just appeared.
Yeah. I was wondering where that was.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sure they do 3. Yeah, just what you were saying, sorry, quickly about the visual branding. I'm not always a fan of characters on products because sometimes they're used like a bit frivolously and they're just used for sake. But with these, you can tell immediately about all 3 of them what they do.
Yeah.
And obviously they say the energy, focus and rest, but I do like that they have these little characters that do actually tell you what the products do at a glance without you necessarily having to get closer and see, okay, we've got that less than 0.1 sugar and protein and all this stuff in it. So yeah, sorry, I interrupted you
there. It'd be good to know from the chat what you like about this website. Do you think this website looks good? If you think this website looks bad, please do tell us. Yeah, Daniel's saying, yeah, it looks like a health bar to me. If you didn't show me what was inside, I would assume it was some kind of flapjack or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's like not necessarily chocolate. Does anyone know of any life-changing licorice all sorts products? No, it's because licorice is the devil.
John, my mum loves licorice, but it gives her headaches, which is just tragic. So there you go. So if you need a headache, licorice.
Sorry, Tony. Not the right two people to ask on that one, I'm afraid. Also, I just want to highlight this. So somebody said, I thought the reviews are free, but we have to sign up for a monthly fee. Two things. One, our live website reviews and the Fix and Rebuild stream are always going to be free, always have been, always will be. So if you want to submit your website, you absolutely can do now. And our free, marketing review is also free. So go to explosionninja.com/review. You can request it. You can upgrade to a platinum review, which will get your review turned around faster because we have hundreds of requests a month. We can only do so many. We're a small, our team is small, our marketing consultancy team is small. We can only do so many. So if you want to put your website to the top of that list, we do ask for a fee, but the same with anything, if you want something faster, you got to pay for it. That's the only fee we're going to ask. There's no monthly fee involved unless you decide to take our services. So if anybody's suggesting that you should have to pay a monthly fee, please forward that email on to us because it's not correct.
Definitely not.
Right, Jess, I'm going to share another website for you in our little chat box, and you can open this one instead since we want to hold on to Peak and discuss later. But I can tell you this website that I'm sharing with you.
Are you sure? Is this the right one?
I'm absolutely sure. This is absolutely, we're gonna have this one. So this is Tabs Chocolate. Tabs is there to help your sex life. Tabs Chocolate have sold over $500,000 worth of product in the last year or so. So this is a submission a while back. I have emailed them and tried to ask them if they would like to come on. Unfortunately, I didn't get a response for today. But I know they've just recently appeared on My First Million, I think it is. So I thought there's probably something we can look into this. So initial impressions from the chat. I'd love to know whether you think this website looks good or bad. You know, Jess showing you from top to bottom. I'm just going to find out what the initial problem was, that they were not enough sales.
Okay,
That's
really interesting because I definitely have a few different opinions on it, which are maybe slightly different to what we would normally discuss because it is such a unique product, and I'm trying to keep in mind whether there's certain. Whether they're trying to keep it slightly more accessible by not being so on the nose with the explicit stuff right above the fold, as well as they're not just trying to sell chocolate, they're trying to sell an experience as well, in a way. And so you can't just show the product, you have to give the vibe, really, as well. It's like selling perfume, right? You've got to show the experience, but obviously they can't totally show the experience when they're an e-commerce website, I would say. Yeah. But yeah, very, very, very interesting indeed.
Yeah. So I follow a couple of social media accounts like for Love Honey and Vibio and a few others because I find it absolutely fascinating how they try and work around the problems with sex as a subject on social media or for ads. Like it can be really problematic. It's hard to work in that industry. And yeah, I love the fact that they've kind of leaned far away from the explicitness.
Yes.
And lean more towards talking about the ingredients within them, which is becoming more of a focus for a lot of people, like what is inside the stuff I'm eating. But yeah, also leaning on the benefits of this as well. So without being too explicit about it. So it's kind of like a happy middle ground, but I think they could be more, I think they could be doing even more than they are. So I've seen this website a little bit, and there are some elements which I like and some that I'm really not a fan of. So if we look down towards the bottom, you've got a few, you can't really call them testimonials. So it's just after this bit. So it's got people holding it. Nothing about these photos tell me anything about the product other than some people are holding it. I don't know who any of these people. Perhaps they're like popular. Perhaps I'm supposed to know these people. I don't know. Perhaps the people, I don't know. Maybe they're in the sexual health, sexual wellness space. I'm not sure, but it's not really convincing me, somebody who's never had it before. And if you're trying to expand your market, you can't just work on the people, use the people within your industry. You got to expand further. So you can reach a real narrow niche of people who are already exploring sexual health, sexual wellness. Kevin Dillon, is that the? It looks familiar. Yeah. So Daniel's saying Kevin Dillon is an actor, but it's spelled wrong. It should be Dillon.
Yeah.
Is that the person from? Was it? There's something about Mary. Anyway, it doesn't really sell anything to. It doesn't really tell anything to me.
No,
say anything to me at all. So I want real people, and I want couples together saying how beneficial this has been. So, like, you've got this piece of chocolate where it's a split, so it's a half. They should be each holding a broken half. Like the top part of the page should be two people somewhere exotic, wrapped up like that if you want, but like with a broken piece in each hand, looking like they've just had the time of their life or they're about to have the time of their life. Like, I understand there's some suggestiveness in this, but I feel like there's way too much concentration on the packaging in some of this stuff than it is on the benefits of it, like aphrodisiac ingredients and stuff like that. Just I don't know what thoughts you're having from the website at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, so there's a few different things, and one of these is sort of riffing off what Daniel Croft said about they should link to the people's Instagrams, possibly. But like, I just had a quick look, and obviously we found out that Kevin Dillon is an actor. I don't care. Like, I know that sounds really mean, but I don't really care that he's an actor. What's that got to do with this product? Whereas Cindy is like a fitness person, so that makes a little bit more sense. And like, I know some. I follow some people on Instagram who talk about a lot about like sexual wellness, body positivity, that kind of thing, who might also be a fantastic like fit for this. It is a very, very like specific niche. And obviously you're not really going to find influencers, but it does feel a little bit like they hit up like a talent agency. And then we're like, who can we get to pose with our products, making it more look like, I don't know, like it's, the thing is, it's chocolate, and I feel like it's being sold like it's a pill or something. Like, I don't really know how else to describe it. And it's just like Dale said, it just looks like, hey, look at our product. Like, look at our product packaging, rather than, and I know it's a bit difficult to like pose with chocolate, but like, there's plenty of chocolate companies out there. It's like, I think they should definitely look at, like, I'm trying to think how to articulate it. Like, chocolate brands, wellness people, and like sex toy brands, places like Lovehoney. How are they promoting their stuff? And then find a way to fit this in. Looks more like fragrance in the influencers' pictures. Daniel, that is exactly right. It looks like a fragrance. It just, and the words that they've used make it look like this was just like fake. I don't know. Like, I know that sounds really mean, but because I think this is a really unique idea, and I always say this on these streams, that's why I'm brutal, because a lot of the time I really, really like these brands and these websites, and I want them to do well. But none of these three descriptors about the product tell anything about it. Like, is this an insane perfume? Do you love this perfume? Is an OMG new wallet that I've bought? Is it, do you know what I mean? Like, there's no, it looks like that these people were maybe caught on a red carpet and they were like, hey, could you quickly pose with our product and do something? And then we'll edit out the background so it doesn't look like they all look like they were taken with the same camera. Like, I know these things sound like, yeah, okay, we're looking at the website and we're really thinking about it, but there's all these little tiny cues that the human brain picks up on when you see this sort of uncanny valley moment, and you know that it's not like natural. And yeah, I think like Dale said, there's some stuff like love the color scheme, love the idea, love the text they use, like sweet and sexy, like this break. I mean, at the same time though, I'm very much a fan of being like, tell me what it is, please. You know, tell me what it is. And yes, they do this with this Vice quote, but at the same time, you know, I'm not totally sure what it is. But like I said, do enjoy that it talks about the ingredients, though I don't understand what DHEA is. So, okay, I think I've finally got my thoughts together of the things I want to say about this website. Now I've rambled. I would love to know, first of all, I'd love to know if it was vegan. Like, I think that's one thing that I feel like they could have had a benefits bar along the top that says if it's vegan or not. That's just for me, but personally, I would like to see that.
So they've got stuff further down, but you can't find there's no ingredients list.
Oh, that's
I couldn't find one anywhere. That really annoyed me.
Yeah, ingredients list is such a big one. Oh, our ingredients. Is there, Dale, at the bottom?
Yeah, but it's not though. It surely it can't be. Like that doesn't make sense. There's no binder.
There should be more, right? I like freaking the spreadsheets. That's really fun. Like these are really fun. These little, like, I would love to see something like this on the homepage about the benefits and like the little things that it does. Because at the moment I'm looking at this and I'm like, I don't understand why any of these things. Now I understand because it's showing me on this page, but I would love to see that on the homepage. I would care a lot more about that than these people. Replace these people with those ingredients boxes and like the benefits of using your product over going down to Ann Summers and buying the little tablets that you can get from there. And I know it sounds silly, but I'm sort of like, well, why buy chocolate when I could just go to the shop and get something from there? And I know that this is becoming a big thing. You're muted, Dale. But like I've had a couple of adverts recently for supplements like this. And to me, I'm a bit like, well, supplements, that's just a bit easier, isn't it? Like you don't have to worry about buying a chocolate, you get more. So sell a little bit more, like Dale said, that you're enjoying it together, that it's like sell the whole experience almost in the perfume way, where it's like you're not necessarily selling the you're not showing us, but you're giving us the same kind of vibe. But yeah, sorry, I totally rambled there, Dale. I just really think this product's really interesting and just like wanted to just talk about a bunch of stuff, but I don't know if you have anything to add. Sorry for that.
Yeah, so I know that they've been doing like huge on TikTok, and I'm just scanning their channel now. They're doing good numbers. You know what the second from last video got 600,000 views, so it's doing pretty well. Engagement on that is 7%. By the way, if you haven't got it installed, I recommend installing vidIQ as an extension. It's useful for YouTube marketing, but also they're expanding into TikTok as well, so you get some additional stuff on there. So they've got like an engagement rate as well, which is super handy if you're looking for influencers to work with and you want to see how well people are engaging with their content. So they're doing good stuff over there. I know that I didn't actually see this podcast that they took part in the other day, but I know that TikTok was mentioned. So I don't know how well they're working with influencers or if it's their own account. But their own account has only got 1,400 followers. So I'm pretty sure it's ads they're working on and doing well from. But I know there are other companies like Blue Chew. They do a lot of affiliate stuff in the US. This is more exciting. Like it's chocolate, for goodness sake. Like it should be super exciting. So I think there's a very different story that needs to be told on this homepage. I'm not that against the way they've used some of their text. Like Break Bite Bang is really brief and to the point. Yeah, that's fine. Sweet and sexy, yeah, makes total sense. I'm not totally against some of the stuff they've done. I just think it could just be better, like better testimonials from actual people rather than celebrities. Celebrity endorsements are real hit and miss. Like if they're the right people, fine. If it's a Z-list celebrity or actor, not so much. Especially when, again, as Jess has said, they all look posed. And
also, like Phil said, the caption for the actor is like, love it. And what? Like, if it was like some celebrities who were like, this changed my sex life, awesome. That's what you want to hear, like none of these things tell us anything about it. I get quite passionate about this because I used to work in influence marketing. So it does like bother me when things are really staged. And I have seen the backlash that people can get when a post is really staged, even when it fits in with the stuff they talk about. But I mean, if you do want to work with actors and stuff, work with people who have been in movies that are well known for being a bit saucy, or somebody who like did a famous sex scene in something, or, you know, just people that actually fit. Whereas these people, it's like we said, feels a bit random, feels weird to have a fitness influencer just promote it, but not even really.
I don't know. That one's kind of on a 50-50 for me as well.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
when you think about fitness, also talking about health and wellness, they often come paired
Very
together.
true.
So, I mean,
Very
I'm not totally against them promoting it, but there's a case of believability, and I'm not sure if those photos necessarily look believable. And people are getting really, really good at acknowledging when something is a paid endorsement or not. Like if somebody's just saying it. We've all been like, consumers consume and they start to notice patterns and they start to get less trusting, which is why it's harder than ever to get people to convert, because a lot of things that we've been doing for years are less effective as people grow used to it. So yeah, we've got some TikToks at the bottom.
Yeah.
I'd much prefer like this stuff. I'd have a row of those versus a row of celebrities. You know, you've got your own Instagram content coming through. Why? That's cool and all, but like, I'd rather have some social proof from other people who've actually tried it. Of course, you're going to say positive things about your website. I'm also thinking about like how Hotel Chocolat separate themselves from regular chocolate by leaning really into the luxury kind of things. Like, you could separate yourself by leaning more into, you know, this isn't your regular £1 bar of chocolate. This is an experience. This is going to change your, I was going to say change your life, but like change your weekend.
Yeah,
it could be such a different story. And Gabriel's saying it looks more like a gift rather than something I would buy for myself. Yeah, perhaps. I mean, I'd be really, really curious to see what the post-sales process is like for this as well, because what I'd be focusing on is how it arrives, how you unbox it, but how you communicate with people afterwards as well. Like, I'd be trying to encourage people to talk about it, which is really, really, really hard. Really, really hard. But when it does work, is incredibly effective. Like, people don't talk about the stuff they got from Love Honey over the week. Like, oh, my Love Honey box arrived. That's what I'll be doing tonight. But people don't talk about it. So you got a really, really hard thing to do there. So I'd be really thinking through like how you can nurture a relationship with your customer to the point where they're happy to talk about you, because it's great to be able to get TikTok ads to work for you and get people onto the site, but you need repeat purchases. It's surely got to be a huge thing for this. A subscription program as well. Imagine like somebody signing up for a $30 subscription for this would be, you know, epic.
Yeah. Oh no, not these people on the product page. You've got these people again.
That's nothing for
me now.
Nothing at all.
They scare me. I'm scared of them. But we do have it's such a shame that these random people are here over these ingredients, because this is so interesting to me. It's like, what makes this different to the average chocolate or the other products? Oh, it's these things, and this is what works, and this is the proof. Whereas unfortunately, we have the scary man.
I wonder if we can look at their if they have Instagram ads on the go. So if we can go to the Facebook Meta ad library.
Yeah.
And the same Bluetooth as well. We're gonna see if I can find that. Positive news, all my computer stuff has arrived, so I'll be able to have a new computer for next week's stream, so things will actually work.
I was watching a video of the worst computer setups last night, and it made me think of you. I also saw a video where somebody turned on their computer.
It's going to be the worst.
No, I saw somebody turn on their computer and it set on fire, and the two kids were like, it was just hilarious. Okay, I think it might be quite difficult to find them on Facebook. Let me see if I can.
Bear with us, everyone.
Yeah,
I'm
because they've got quite a generic name. It's quite, and also they have Instagram and TikTok, but on their website you can't click on them. So you just have to go on Instagram to find them, apparently.
What did I buy? I bought all kinds of parts recommended by people on Reddit. I've never built a PC before. I'm probably gonna brick every part of it and
No,
short it
you
out.
won't.
I
I've
don't
said
know.
to Dale while we get onto this, while we try and find these adverts, I built a computer on my own. Well, actually, I had somebody help me in terms of which parts to buy, but if I did it on my own, Dale could do it on his own because he's much smarter than me.
That's not true. Not even slightly true.
I'm really struggling to find them on Facebook. There's so many different. One of my sponsored posts just appeared on
Interesting.
on our Instagram. Yeah, I can't find them because they've just said at tabs, but there's no link through to their social media on their website, which is a
Okay,
real.
you keep looking for that. So I'm
Yeah,
going to go
I
over
am.
Blue Chew. So in the US, Blue Chew is a tablet for erectile dysfunction. So similar kind of products where they're trying to help things in the bedroom, and they lean heavily on affiliate marketing. So they give people product codes, promo codes, stuff to use on their own YouTube channels, their Twitches, and stuff like that. And just looking at their ads, it's a combination of just traditional ads, like what's the word? Like well produced, edited, and stuff. But it looks like they might be mixing in some like people talking as well. Talk to your man about Blue Chew. Blue Chew benefits both of you. Interesting. So they're not talking about what's inside it at all. They're just making it really obvious what it's about. Talk to your man about Blue Chew. I think we can pretty much guess what that's going to be about. Chew it and do it. So we've got a product endorsement from somebody as well. So yeah, that matches. Don't have as much. Relationship saver. That's genius. That is a fantastic.
That's
ad
a
right
really
there.
good ad.
Replace the Blue Chew with a box of tabs.
Yeah.
And that I think would be really effective as well. Blue Chew. I'm guessing that's I don't know who that is. Big yeah means nothing to me. I'm surprised there aren't more people. Like just people saying how effective it's been for them. Made for couples.
But then, yeah,
don't know who
there's
these
like
people are. Influencers, it says.
Yeah, I've tried to find the tabs stuff on the ad library and I've had no luck. I found their Instagram. It's actually tabs_chocolate, but when you type it in, nothing comes up, and I couldn't find them on Facebook either. So yeah.
Days. Tabs. 11 more advertisers. Let's check that out. And then we'll move on to the next website. Just a reminder, if you submit your website today, we would have done because we're going to move on to reviewing some sites without the guest on. But yeah, we're going to be doing this thing every other Wednesday where you can come on and actually ask us direct questions about your website. So in a second, we'll move on to doing that. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything either.
No.
Tabs.
I found a tabs chocolate, but it's like just a person, I think, just called.
I wonder if they've had problems because of the type of product that they sell.
It could be.
That they're having difficulty with that. Okay, well, no problem. Let's get off the screen. We'll have a look at the next website we're going to share. Stop sharing the screen.
So I've got a few. We've got one from somebody who's quite a regular. Did we want to use that, or did we want to see if they would want to come on in the future?
I can see who you mean. Tortoise Property, I know you're here. You've been watching. You were at a meeting. We're going to do you on another stream because I'd love to have the opportunity to chat with you. Unless you're, available now, but it's very last minute. So yeah, we'll book you in for another one. We'll get our dates all sorted out. You'll be the first person on for that stream. Super. So let's have a look, Jess. Who else have we got?
I've got Sydney Community College, which definitely piqued my interest for a few reasons. So even though it's not a fix or rebuild, we will do a scroll of the website just so that you can get a feel for it, see what's on it.
And you can tell us whether the website looks good or bad in your opinion. That'd be good to know.
Yeah. Or if you understand what they what they sell and what they're about, basically, as well.
I mean, surely it's in the name, no?
Well, see, you say that, but then I was like, there's online courses here. They've got an element that says they're a registered charity. Although I don't know if that's something to do with community colleges in Oz or in Sydney, which I'm assuming is Sydney, Australia. So yeah, quite a few different things to say about this website, but most of them good, really, I would say.
Okay. Did you record what the issue was?
I didn't. Sorry, I can look
Okay.
it up though. I do that every time. I think it was sales.
I got it.
I think it's sales.
So not enough sales. Okay, so in that case, we need to go through to a course itself and see how it's being pitched. So let's say we're looking for a course about business, since that's a subject you and I know well enough. Cool. So we got some stock imagery. Business courses in Sydney, of course, you learn. Okay, and then I'm bombarded with courses. So I'm not really loving the way that that's been pitched. So we've got accounting and bookkeeping courses. There's got to be a different way of doing that, whether that's through a drop-down option instead. But then you've got the courses themselves. So let's say I'm going to look at let's pick one of those.
I'm so confused about what's going on this main page. I don't understand this. I'm going to say this, of course. I don't know if it's play on words or what, but it just seems like an odd thing to include.
So that's surely playing into SEO. So short courses in Sydney or courses in Sydney will be the search query that they're trying to rank for.
Oh, I see. So it just helps it flow a little bit better. But I would just take this, of course you can, out and just have learn accounting and bookkeeping.
Yeah, same.
Short course in Sydney, because I don't know. It just feels a bit like, of course you can, of course. Like, don't be silly. Why did you? I don't know. It's just me overthinking it, but I just don't like it. Anyway, so yeah, we have the page here. So it is a little bit more succinct than the previous one.
Let's try accounting course for. Okay, let's scroll down to the bottom of the page. Right. Yeah. Hang around there. Hang on. Oh, go back.
Oh, sorry.
So I really spotting one problem is that the number of clicks it takes to get through to the product page. So for SEO, we try to recommend that you don't have pages which are like more than 3 clicks away from the home page. So that would be like category page, subcategory page, product page, preferably fewer steps than that. So we're going to quite a number of steps. At my earlier stage, where I said earlier you might want to have a drop-down menu instead, I understand why they might have used links, because for internal linking, it can be quite handy to just use a link instead. But in terms of like in terms of conversion rate, I'd probably be thinking on like a drop-down instead. Like I'm interested in, and then you can choose business, accounting, and so on. And then you can have those links further down if your SEO is consulting that you should have them on that page, and then have people get to the courses a lot faster. So you have that category page. I'm interested in accounting, and then the courses auto-populate beneath it. So you're having to have fewer clicks through to the product page, through to this page. So this is what the third page we've got to. We're still not on the course.
No.
Let's have a look at let's have a look at the way that's being pitched on here. Like what's going to get me through onto the page itself. So view details, enroll now. I'm probably not at this stage going to enroll now. So this might be a case of it just being too early to pitch this. There will be some people who've probably done their research and they're already ready to enroll. But I would say, having shopped around for courses about digital marketing myself, I'm probably not at that stage yet. So it'd be better to reduce the amount. I don't know. A part of me, the conversion rate part of me, is saying, it's great to have these summaries in there because you're already putting the seed in there of, okay, this is what's on offer, this is how much it's going to cost. But I feel like I want a better pitch on the page itself.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. There was so much happening to actually get to this page. Yeah. So I've realized that it's because their tagline is, of course you can, but I would honestly question that tagline as a whole. It just feels very, very condescending. But it could be, I'm not Australian, so maybe it's like a super common phrase that is like, not condescending at all because it's a cultural difference. But But yeah, one thing I wanted to sort of highlight from when we go on the business courses page as a whole, just to sort of move back. Number one, the use of the stock image is a bit crummy to me, because even though, yes, you can do these courses online, part of like people who want to do courses online know that they want to do courses online, whereas because you offer this in-person thing, I think having pictures of people together, especially because I noticed these are from like 6 till 9 p.m. Yeah. So older people who are taking on these, you know, later year studies is perfect as well, because there's so many people who like will be unsure of signing up to an like a course because they don't know the type of people who might be there. So here's a great example from me. I signed up to a gym class because all the pictures on the website were like elderly ladies, and I'd had a rough week and I wanted to do a really easy gym class, and I got there and it was the hardest gym class I've ever done, and it was not for elderly ladies, and I felt really frustrated because that was the young experience, wasn't the experience that I wanted. I wanted the more gentle experience. And so I think, you know, picture says 1,000 words, but it actually does, and it's just one of those little psychological things that works really, really well. But the other thing is, so which business training course are you interested in? Cool, we've got all these, which is a little bit like, you know, I can see they're maybe trying to do some SEO internal linking. You could have these as buttons, you could have them as a drop down. There's a lot better ways. But then right below it, we have Learn Procreate course for beginners, maths course for adults, Python coding. Yes, these are related to business, but they're not included in here. Actually, no, tell a lie. There is a mathematics course, but it just feels like they're like, you're a business person, here's 500 things that you can learn about running a business. Whereas actually, I think a lot of people who, like, if you wanted to do the okay, no, I was going to say if you want to do the mathematics course, there's a mathematics section. That's a lie. It's under the business section. But I think it's just a little bit too much all at once. And I think they could definitely refine this, because all of a sudden, yeah, you've got how to draw on your iPad, essentially.
I would be thinking about this way more like an e-commerce site than I would be a course site. So we've built course sites before. And I think we found that, yeah, that's pretty much the way to go, because people are in that mindset. Like, I'm spending money and I want to evaluate this and get as much information about it as possible. One thing I would change on this is get rid of that side menu and just have a menu at the top instead. So have like a secondary menu that comes up so people can choose that way. Because I would just have it full column, so you have a complete picture of just all the attention on what's being offered, and then you could have like a three column pictures showing, okay, this is the business. So normally we have like buckets, like a photo representing different categories. So, you know, one for accounting, one for business. You're moving around so much, can't see.
Sorry.
One for business, one for career, one for digital marketing, and so on. So instead of pitching courses at this point, you could just make sure you're navigating people through to the right part of the website first. So just think of it that way. But I'd also be thinking, like, if you are going to have to keep it on this style of design, don't go with Procreate as the first course that they see, because there is going to be that distance between where people are at in their head. They're thinking business. Procreate is probably not the first thing they're going to be looking for. You could just customize this and have like, this is a featured course at the top, and then everything underneath is, you know, one from each category, or
Absolutely.
turn this into like a bestseller area. So these are the main courses that sell. Just have a few of them and have like a view more courses at the bottom where people can go to another page where they can filter things down even further. So I'd be looking at, how does my website compare to an e-commerce website, and change things up that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Because right now it's just so overwhelming, and people are more likely to just leave. They'll probably be like, oh, well, they don't offer what I want. They offer Procreate courses. It's sort of like diminishes, unless you already have a reputation, it diminishes you a little bit, because if somebody's come here expecting business stuff and then they're being taught how to draw on an iPad, they're probably going to be a bit, you know, feel a bit like, hang on a minute. Yeah,
Maybe
completely.
not.
Or is this actually for people way below my skill level type thing? So yeah, I think that's That's exactly
This
that's
would
such
be
a good
would have been
point.
a good one to have somebody the submitter come on and actually have some more
Yes.
questions, because there might be a lot of that's one thing to remember with all these websites. They don't just come, oh, I just bodged it all together. A lot of times there's a lot of thought that's been put into some of these websites that have been sent. So there might be a perfectly good reason why this has been done like this, because they know their customer better than we do. We're judging it
Yes,
off
absolutely.
the first appearances. So our recommendations might actually not work with their audience. However, maybe we are coming from we're coming from a good place, good intention, and a lot of experience, that maybe a different approach to this from an e-commerce point of view, and thinking about filtering and the mindset of your target audience as well might make a big difference on how you design these pages and in what order you put the content. Should we have a look at another website?
Yes, indeed we can. I might have to find one because I had a few and then realized one was for marketing.
I've got h2obuildingservices.co.uk. I'll just ping that to you.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you very much. I didn't want to bring the other one up in case they decide to come on next time, because there was another person. So, oh, interesting. Okay.
So, not enough leads for this website.
I can see why, but there's also some things that I kind of like. I actually feel like this is more of a design issue than a content issue, personally. Anyway, I'll give you a little scroll so that the chat can see.
Gabrielle, yes, the streams are now an hour and a half long.
They are. I'm feeling it today. I've got my own live stream later for 3 hours, so... But yeah, I already have a few things to say about this website, but I don't know if you want to go first, Dale, because I've been bullied.
Yeah, I was just going to highlight to Gabrielle and everybody watching that, the Wednesday streams are now an hour and a half. So we're going to alternate between live website reviews every Wednesday and fix and rebuild. So if you've not seen them before, live website reviews are this format, but we're changing it slightly so that the first hour will bring you on, so you can ask us questions about a part of your website or your traffic or anything like that. So we know we're going to try and get like 3 people on each first hour, and then for the final half an hour we'll just whiz through a few websites that are submitted in the form right this second, and we will try and review as many of them as we can.
Indeed.
What a time to be alive. I'm feeling that too. Cool. So just initial impressions with this. What do you think?
So there's some really good stuff, but unfortunately the way that the website is set up, I can't even say, or maybe this would be better on mobile, because I can see from that text that it will be very unpleasant on mobile. I don't even need to make it smaller. So I'm going to start actually saying what I really like. And I really like that they say at the top, we can reduce your water costs. Right away, they're telling you exactly what they do. And then right below that, they're showing you, look at all these big names that we've helped out. How cool is that? Do you want to be like them? Then you should work with us too. But unfortunately, the way that the design is set up does not look pleasant at all. And I think it's very distracting, because we've got this scroller that's like, hang on a minute, where are we supposed to be looking? Are we supposed to be looking at the thing that's sort of flashing up? I don't know if that's just my internet connection, but every time it changes, it's like, boom, in your face. Are we supposed to be looking at the we can reduce your water costs? Are we supposed to be looking at this white section at the top? Or are we supposed to be looking at this poorly designed white section here? And so, that's my first impressions. I'm glad to see we've got a lead capture form, and I don't hate the start saving, but I think it could also be really good to have a more of a colder thing, like a colder call to action, like maybe a calculator. Oh my god, I love a calculator on a website. It makes me so happy. Imagine if they had a calculator on this website, find out how much you can save, and then at the end they're like, if you want your details, put your email in please, and your business size and all those. But also, by using a calculator like that, what's really clever is that they're getting an instant result, but while they're going through it, you're collecting information about them. So for instance, with this website, you can see that this definitely doesn't seem to be that it's like for consumers. It looks like it's for businesses or like big companies. So you can immediately qualify some of the people on your website by getting them to do this, getting them to do a calculator. So for instance, the first question could be like, how many locations do you have? You know, how many staff do you have? All these little things you know, what kind of, I don't know what uses water, machinery, air conditioning, I don't know, you know, how many company bathrooms do you have? Do you use construction materials that need a lot of water? You know, all these different things. And then as they're filling that in, they know that they're going to get like a instant thing at the end that's going to say, we could save you this much water. But then when they get that result, they're also sending all their details to you. So then you can see, oh, actually, we should probably reach out to this company because they sound like an absolutely fantastic client for us. And yeah, sorry, got a bit out of hand there, as I've said every single time that I've finished speaking this live stream. But I think that could be a much better way to collect leads on this website. Sorry, Dale. Did you want to jump in?
This website, look, it was designed in 2010.
Yes.
It's quite old and definitely could do with a lot of work from that point of view. But I'm just thinking about like that initial area. I'm actually kind of in love with it.
Really?
But I would definitely be doing it differently. So
Yes.
I don't have the right tools in front of me to be able to do this. So I'm doing a workaround instead. When the computer thinks I'm going to do this. Oh, yeah, so what I would do is I would have like a really huge title, a heading above the page, and have like the logo on the right hand side, and that can change. Now, anybody watching knows that I can't stand sliders. However, there are exceptions that can be done. So I think it's like Monday.com who do this. In fact, let's just very quickly go and have a look. Monday.com, where they do this thing where we help you with your X, and then the word changes from okay, it doesn't do anymore, but I'm pretty sure it was Monday.com where it says a platform for working with marketing, or we would say a marketing platform, or a sales platform, or a project management platform. It would just constantly change. You can do the same thing and just say, we saved X company this much money. What was the... Can't find it now. I don't want to show people stuff.
It was like McDonald's.
I'll swap it back over.
Money, then it was...
There we go. Yeah. So we can reduce your water costs. We saved whatever. Right. So I would do, we saved McDonald's this much money. We can say we saved McDonald's this much money from their water costs. Click here to see how much you can save, and it would go through to that calculator that you were talking about, where you can see, okay, this is how much our water usage is per month. This is well, I don't know if that's what's in the form. Clearly not. I'm thinking there are some like calculators, like when you do a mortgage calculator, things like that. You're looking for a new energy provider. It asks you how much wattage you use, how much water you use. You can do the same thing. So I think you could just take that first above the fold area and have that as like the only thing on the page. So I'm thinking of like WeBuyAnyCar.com. So WeBuyAnyCar.com. I should just get you to do all this. So you should,
but
my computer. Okay, cool. So WeBuyAnyCar.com, super simple. That's it. That's the entirety of the area above the fold. Like, it's really clear what you're going to be doing. So if you had a really strong title, we saved McDonald's, £250,000 on their water costs. Click here to find out how much you could save, or you just have the first question being, how much water could we save you? How much water did you use in X period of time? Your conversion rate will be so high. So high, because there's the proof is the first thing that you see, and you start the questionnaire, this calculator that gets people thinking about, I could save 250,000 as well. So yeah, I would love to redesign that website. I think it'd be great. There's definitely, I mean, if I stay on WeBuyAnyCar.com, we start to get into like social proof and steps and stuff like that.
But I love how the more that you scroll down, you still have that registration and mileage at the top. That's awesome.
It's a fantastic website. I love the WeBuyAnyCar website. Just goes to show you don't have to go overboard when it comes to the website design. No, actually, it's the reverse. Minimalism is a huge huge part of high converting websites, but so is addressing conversion blockers. So yeah, I would start off with that heading and the CTA that we talked about, and then you can go on to social proof beneath. You can go on to conversion, acknowledging and addressing conversion blockers after that point as well.
Absolutely. But yeah, this H2O website, you've got so much good stuff that you can just reframe and use it even more to your advantage. Like, this social proof is so good. Like, these numbers are fantastic. And it's just like, and then unfortunately, sort of, from here down, it loses it, which is such a shame because it's obviously a really good service. The people who do it are really good. And, like I said, I just love that they get straight into it. Straight away, they say we can reduce your water costs. You're not questioning what they do. They haven't needed to use a picture of how they do it or anything. They've just said we can. And here's how. Here's the other people that benefited. Like, fantastic. So, yeah. You can tell from how me and Dell are acting, we would love to be able to work on this website and just make it like absolutely phenomenal, because how cool is that? Really, really great.
Yeah.
Really, really great.
Super cool. We'll find another website, Jess. I'll take you off screen so you can find another website. Just a couple of questions. So, Tortoise Property asking, so these website reviews in this format are every 2 weeks, correct? That's correct. So live website reviews are every fortnight. So next Wednesday will be our fix or rebuild stream, and then the week after will be another live website reviews. I mean, if enough people are attending, then we could always extend these to like be every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But at the moment, until attendance and the number of likes and subscribers on the videos is high enough, we'll alternate it. And Phil pointing out that Tim did do a live stream on Monday. And he did an interview with Ed Lawrence from Film Booth, which is a YouTube channel that we absolutely adore. And he was talking about how he's exploded his channel by like 100,000 subscribers in the last year alone by changing up the way he's using YouTube, but how businesses could be using YouTube as well. So there's a lot to learn from that. If you search for Exposure Ninja podcast, you'll see there's a brand new channel just for a podcast. You can go and watch that replay. There will be more podcast guests coming, and they'll start to be edited and put into the podcast feed so you can listen to them later. So you can watch the live recording, that'll be edited down and released as like an audio thing later on. So yeah, Exposure Ninja podcast in YouTube, you should spot it. Cool.
We're good to go. There was a few websites I was looking at, and I feel like we looked at a pet one before, but I don't think it was this one.
I've even looked at this one before.
Do you think? Maybe we did.
I've seen so many websites today, so.
Yeah. No, there was a few different dog ones that we've had.
Dogs.
We had I think so. What I think happened is I think we reviewed a dog website previous week, and then while we were reviewing it, 2 people submitted their dog product websites. So I was just trying to pick between which of those 2 I wanted to review, but I think this is probably going to be the one because it's a very standard e-commerce website template, and I think there's a lot that we could do with it. I don't think we reviewed this one. We reviewed the one.
No, that's fine.
The beds.
It's just I looked at so many websites today this morning, emailing people and asking them to come on. That are probably just mixing the 2 together.
That could well be.
Phil saying yes, it was great, the stream. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. It was
I'm
really
glad you
cool.
enjoyed it. If you have any like brands you'd like us to reach out to ask them about their marketing, how they do it, please let us know, because I'm always looking for suggestions. Like, I'd like to speak to the team at Gymshark, the team at Grenade. Huel would be amazing to speak to them. So VFC, I'm super keen to speak to them as well.
Soon, hopefully.
Fingers crossed. So any suggestions, please let us know in the chat now, and I'll see what I can do.
Indeed.
Cool. So, initial impressions. Are we thinking this website looks good or bad, chat? Where are we at? Does this website look good or bad?
And also remember, if you do leave a message in the chat, you get entered to win a copy of our book, a physical copy of our book, How to Get to the Top of Google. So even if you're a bit shy and you don't really want to ask a question or make a statement, you can just say if the website is good or bad. So,
Indeed.
lowering the bar a bit there if you are a bit nervous to chat. I know some people are, but obviously we value people that are lurking just as much. So
Absolutely. And we also value any like you'd like to give on this video as well, whether you're
Yes.
watching us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. It's all appreciated. Cool. So Phil Robertson saying fast food Japan. Interesting. And then
is that a
Gabriel
competitor
saying-
or is that just a, because I was going to say a translation, but no, I think it's just a cool website that you want us to review. I had a moment there where I was like, are you competing with them?
Because I remember there was one like restaurant in Japan that is like a chain that my partner and I were eating like every day because it had like the cheapest food we could
Amazing.
find, and we were on like a proper budget because we were traveling. So
Yeah.
oh, I want to go back so bad. It's been 10 years almost.
Stop.
Cool.
Wanna
So
go.
initial thoughts from Gabriel are good. Jess, your initial impression.
So this picture doesn't tell us really anything about the brand. So I can see that we've got walking, dog clothing, dog toys, sleep, eat essentials, and dog gifts. I'm not saying we need to represent all of those in this picture, but if you're telling me that your whole business is selling party hats for dogs, I would definitely be questioning that. And I think this whole space is taken up by what looks like a Photoshop stock image, whereas further down, we have some awesome pictures, including like these ones with the fake like beer and Smirnoff bottles, you know, and toys and
Yep.
stuff, and these action
It even says
shots.
best-selling products just above that area. So why aren't those the first thing that people see when they come on the website? It should immediately be a really well taken like studio shots of dogs and the products. Like imagine like, you know, Christmas on This Morning, they get all the toys that are going to be popular this year, and there are kids running around all playing with them. Just have like a really nice studio set up with all the dogs running around and all the different products that are available, just looking like, you know, get your entire product range in there.
Absolutely.
I mean, somebody's gone to expense of creating this photo, so why not do it where your actual products are on display a lot more?
Exactly. And I have to say as well, the tagline is a luxury shop for stylish dogs. And unfortunately, there is nothing about this picture that represents those things. You could, with a brand like that, you can take it so, like, not extreme, but why not take pictures of dogs in fancy restaurants or fancy situations or a stroll by the lake? Like, you know, all these little things that sort of really push. Like, if you are selling luxury items, none of these things in this picture scream luxury to me at all, except maybe for the bow tie. But even then, I can imagine people who are shopping for luxury items for their dogs might not be the kind of people who put bow ties on their dogs. So yeah, I think what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, right, imagine this for a second. So
what are you about to show? Oh wait, no,
So-
this is actually so fun. Okay.
right, so this is the Zaha website. So the Zaha website, they sell like not like super expensive clothes, but more expensive than going to H&M, for example. I think the conversion rate on this website can't be amazing because
Everybody hates the Zara website.
yeah,
Everyone I speak to.
but there's a certain feeling about this website. It's just the way it's designed that makes you feel like more like you're flicking through Vogue or Cosmopolitan or something like that. It has like a different feel to it. Whereas when you go to the other website, it just feels like this is no disrespect to the person who submitted it, but it feels like a drop shipping website, which is incredibly common at the moment, where people are just selling products that they're getting from Alibaba and websites in East Asia and Central Asia. It just doesn't have the same feel to it. Like, I'm not saying you should be like Zaha, but if you're talking about like you have like prestigious looking dogs with fantastic prestigious looking products, then try and up the feel of the website so it kind of fits in that area. Jess, I know you're looking around at something at the moment. You okay with me swapping screen?
Yeah, I was trying to find, you can absolutely come back, but I'm trying to find like websites that show more of that luxury. And I think this one that I finally clicked on does it quite well. It could come across as a fashion website, if you came across it accidentally, but I can imagine that people who are looking for this kind of stuff are searching for these terms, right? But what I really love about this picture and how it represents it is it's selling a lifestyle. Like, people aren't buying fancy clothes for their dogs because the dog asked them. They're buying it because they want it to fit in with their lifestyle and their look. They're having pets or they want their pets to match them. They want their pets to look like fashionable with them. I don't want to say they want their pets to be a fashion accessory, because I don't think that's the case for all people, but some people maybe. And I definitely feel like this sells that luxury aspect a lot more. Even the fact that they have a dog sizing guide, like that really feels like they're taking it to the next level, right? Like, it really does feel like it's coming to the next level. I see Dale's found a website. I know that Ethan from the Sidemen recently, his girlfriend got their dog's pajamas, and she took some pictures, but it could be the same brand actually, you know. Let me have a look. Sorry, Dale, please.
This is misguided that another agency I've worked on, and basically did that. They were looking at how you could pair up the accessories for your pet with your own clothes. So it's incredibly smart campaign. Huge hat off to them. I absolutely was really impressed by that when it came out. So I mean, it's the same kind of thing, really. In a way, I mean, like you're going to talk about luxury, or some of these products are just a bit of fun from what I saw of them.
Yeah,
it's just a slightly different approach I'd be taking it. I think it looks like the people running the website probably have more. They're probably spending a lot of time on like getting people onto the website. They're probably spending the most of their time traffic generation, getting the ad creative sorted, fine-tuning the ads and that kind of stuff, and maybe product sourcing too. I think a bit more attention needs to be paid on the actual website itself in terms of making it match the quality or the how people feel getting those products. Like, people buying a Costa, what was it called? It was like Dogster or something like that. So scroll to the very bottom.
Yeah,
there's all the different brands.
Oh, yeah,
keep going. There's a list. Yeah, so we've got like Stan Mongrel and Pulroni Dogster. Yeah, so people buying these things and not,
That's so cute.
Yeah,
sorry.
There's more that could be done with this. So, like with the Orpa roll, for example, you could have somebody sitting on in a cocktail bar balcony, beautiful view, holding an Aperol with a dog as the actual main focus of the photo, and the people in the background, and the dog just has like the thing next to them. Like, there's a completely different way of promoting this than just the product on its own. But when you start to tell a story like that pushes up the luxury kind of side to it, you can start to charge a little bit more for that product, because there's a certain kind of, not glamour, because it's not going to be in vogue anytime soon, but there's a high level of distinction about it, because the more, again, how you've positioned it. So yeah, that would be my recommendation for this website, is to invest more in
one more thing that I wanted to sort of show. I know we're nearly at time, so we'll be very quick. But just in terms of, like, even if you don't have a big budget. So this is Pajamily. They were on The Apprentice this year. And one of the things they do is they sell dog pajamas. So they sell matching pajamas for the whole family. I mean, this top picture is unfortunately a bit useless because it doesn't really show the whole thing. But one of the things they do is they sell matching pajamas for your pets as well. And these pictures are so basic, right? It's the same dog, but this dog, I mean, is a little bit of a poser, so they've got that going. But these are you could do these at home with your iPhone, and I'm hoping if you own a business like this, you have pets and you tried the products out. And then we've even got, the family photo. I mean, these are good pictures, and they do look professional, but not like professional. They look like the kind of thing that you could replicate in your own home. So you don't need a huge budget to be able to make things look good. You just need, at least a decent phone camera, a couple of lights. You don't have to shell out on a studio or actors or anything. So that's just the last thing that I sort of wanted to mention before we wrap up.
Yeah, I would say like just go onto like a online course website like Udemy and search for how to take better product photos or better fashion photos. Pay the 15 quid or whatever it is that they charge at their discounted rate these days.
Yes.
And just spend a weekend, book a hotel room or somewhere that allows dogs, where it just looks a bit more luxurious than your own house.
Such a good
I don't know where you
idea.
live.
Yeah, no,
And
that's
just
so true.
spend the weekend doing that. And then you'll have photographs that will increase your conversion rate. They'll help you get more sales, which will then pay for you to have a studio that you just always have. They can pay for a studio room or an extra room. You know, you can upgrade to another house that has another room in it that you can just use for product photography shots. Like there are so many things you can do just from changing your product photos as they are now. So there's more to that website we probably could discuss when it comes to like layout and text and stuff like that. But in terms of like initial thoughts, I think we're both on the same page in terms of photography and luxury kind of feel.
Definitely. I feel like we talk about technical aspects so much. It's quite nice to be able to talk about visual and branding sometimes. So that's pretty good.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we've had 9 entries to the giveaway. So hold your breath, folks. Hopefully we will not get somebody that's got one before. Or we haven't put too many Exposure Ninja messages today, so hopefully we won't have anybody from Exposure Ninja coming up. Frank Kleinworth, if you wouldn't mind emailing Dale at exposureninja.com with your address and your phone number. Phone number is literally just so that we can make sure that everything gets delivered on time. It's all good and safe and happy. But yeah, just pop Dale a message with all that info and we'll get you a physical copy of How to Get to the Top of Google 2022 edition sent right out to you. And also, if you didn't win the giveaway but you wanted a copy, you can actually download a copy for free in the description box below. PDF version, not a physical version. You can't actually download a physical copy unless you print it out and have it bound yourself, which you can do. Nothing against that. But,
that's how you want to spend your weekend? Then
yeah, that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Super. Well, thanks everyone for coming on. I wanted to say thank you again to Matthew, who came on, was a guest earlier. If you want to be a guest on a future webinar or live stream or anything that we do, you just have to stay subscribed to our mailing list, and you can do so by going to exposureninja.com and you'll see join our mailing list, which is a button at the very top in the main menu. Thanks everyone for coming, and hopefully see you on Friday, where we'll be talking about how and why you need a brand awareness PPC campaign for your website. So before we do go, Jess, point over here and say about watch this video next. Watch this one, okay?
Watch this one. It'll be really good.
This is the most important video you could watch all day, even better than this one.
Yeah, if you're watching live, you won't see anything. But if you're watching on
the replay,
demand,
anybody on the replay, yeah,
there's a cool video there. Good job.
Click it. Right, take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.